Hello everyone and welcome to Blank First Page. My name is Lucas.
Support this channel by clicking the join button below the video or in the video description. Members get early access to new videos and exclusive access to members-only videos, posts, reviews, and AMAs. Click the join button below or in the video description.
Last year I did a planner showdown video. One of the main things I spoke about in that video was for 2024 I had turned one of my field notes into a planner with kind of a month to a page to try and use that as my main planner source. A few of you have asked me to do a recap on that, to talk about how I used that and whether it was successful or not, and that's what I'm going to do in this video. The short of it is it didn't work for me. I am basically writing off trying to take on a planner habit of any sort. There's a few reasons for that, and some of those I'd already kind of hinted at in last year's video, but I was hoping that this layout could kind of get me through that. So as a recap, point behind this planner layout was that I had a month to a full open page so that I could see everything going within a month, which was typically my most immediate need. But I had it in a portable format, in my favorite format of field notes, and I could fit an entire year within one small notebook, as opposed to some of the other planner options, such as this Hobonichi Techo, which I'd also tried to use in prior years. What I was trying to use this in place of were these layouts that I often put into my field notes in my everyday carry field note to help me track things. Now, I tried all year to use this. I went back into it regularly, updated it, filled in important dates, scheduled things, but I never used it for what it was intended to, which was a reference. It's all well and good filling it, but I wasn't using it for my purposes. As a consequence of trying to do this, I did not use any of these types of layouts where I write them into my daily carry field notes, and that was the clearest answer for me of why having a separate planner for me is useless. My main carry is my field notes. This is with me. I've said this 100 times before. It's with me everywhere, all the time. I take it from my bedside table to my office, to the couch, to the garden, when I travel. It's just with me all the time. So through this whole process, I've actually come back to the fact that this layout here, where I have 4 months into one field note view, is the best layout for me, because when I need it, when there are those busy times that I do need a planner to actually plan things out, that's what I need. I need a short-term view ahead of me. I don't need the exact detail behind everything. Typically, I'm just marking out times I am abroad, or times people are visiting, or specific events that I need to take note of. And because these pages are in my everyday carry, I am going to organically, even without trying to refer to them, I'm going to come across these pages and have that reminder. This notebook that I tried to carry with me, but I often forgot about, mainly sat on my desk or on my shelf, and it just kind of got lost in all the other notebooks because it was kind of an unnatural addition to my item. There wasn't typically a reason to go in and chance upon the planner pages. I just didn't use it. I've come to the realization that I'm just not a planner person. My stationery ecosystem has kind of organically evolved to fulfill all the stationery and planning needs that I have. So if it's a personal related item, note, date that I have to remember, the best place for that is my everyday carry field notes. And there's a few reasons for that. One is what I just mentioned. Because I'm in and out of it so frequently, I will happen upon those pages just by accident more and take a moment to look at them to remind myself of things that are coming up or things that I need to do. And also my kind of changing of the guard process, what I've spoken about before, when I finish a field notes, before I start the next one, I will typically leaf through each one, figure out any notes that need to be transferred into the new notebook. That process makes me look at those pages from the past month or so again. And when I come across my calendar pages, that's a moment of reflection to think, okay, do I still need to do this in my new field notes? If I do, I can obviously take the rolling next month and include that into the view. And that gives me kind of, again, more visibility that is more relevant to me. For this, every month that passes, the pages are less relevant. So what I found myself doing ultimately is, because I didn't have these kind of page views, I was just taking a note in my daily carry to say on X date I need to do Y. And then I would retrospectively, when I was doing the changing of the guards, I'd look at those dates and go, oh, I can put those into my planner. So basically what this has become for 2024 is just a capsule that captures mostly all my travel when people have visited, which is fine as a kind of a compact single notebook view. It might be nice to come back to in 10, 20 years time and have a kind of a snapshot record of that year just in date format. But again, that does not suit or attract me for how I like to use my notebooks. I definitely like to go back and look through my notebooks, but I would prefer to, if I want to look at what happened in a year, I want to go through the 10 or 11 field notes that I used in that year and look at what was happening, in more of the mundane detail, my to-do lists, my grocery lists, my expense lists, and so on. And I get the opportunity, by looking back on a year that I want to look back at, I get to flip through 10 field notebooks rather than just a single field note, which why look at one when you can look at 10? There is nothing that I'm not already achieving with just carrying around my everyday carry field notes notebook. So I'm just going to stop trying to have these other habits and stick with the habits that has served me most successfully and that has been most satisfying in the last 10 or so years. And that's the everyday carry field notes pocket notebook. Let me know in the comments if you tried last year to do the same thing as I did. Let me know how that went for you. I'm curious to understand if there are specific routines or a different type of stationery ecosystem that people build wherein this kind of approach, this planner approach, works better than what I'm used to in my routine. Let me know all of those things in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching.